everyone, this is Nimisha Bhatt. How are you guys doing? I hope you're perfectly fine. Well, I am fine. So today I'm shooting a recipe for you guys. It's a breakfast recipe, less oil tikki. You can make this for breakfast as well as whenever you're feeling hungry and you want to snack on. So you can make this recipe, and it's called less oil tikki. It's my personal recipe. Just one day I thought of making this recipe and experimenting it, and it turned out to be perfect. So after that I created it 3 to 4 times and it was well and nice. So I thought of sharing this recipe with you guys. So let's start making this less oil tikki. It's going to be very easy, tasty and healthy. Let's start making this recipe. So to make the less oil tikki recipe, here are the easy ingredients. So I've taken around 4 to 5 green chilies. I'm using medium chilies and I'm using some spicy chilies. These ones are not very spicy and these ones are spicy. So I'm using a mixture of green chilies. These are around 4 to 5 chopped green chilies, just roughly chopped. Here I have 2 tablespoons of roasted peanuts. These are just roasted at home. And I'm also going to be using some salt to taste. I'm using 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds or jeera. Now I'm just going to grind all this into a coarse paste. And here I have taken 2 raw potatoes that I've just grated with a small size grater. So 2 raw potatoes grated. Those were 2 medium sized of potatoes. I have taken 1 tablespoon of ginger garlic paste. Here I have 1 large onion finely chopped. I have some coriander leaves, so I've dipped them in water so that they will stay very fresh. I have 1 teaspoon of oil and I have 1 cup of rice flour. So these are the easy ingredients, and let's start making this recipe. So I'm taking a grinder, and in the grinder I'm going to be adding in this green chilies. So just chop them roughly. These are nicely washed. Next in I'm going to be adding in 1 teaspoon of jeera or cumin seeds. These are not roasted, these are just raw. Next in I'm adding in roasted peanuts. These are around 2 tablespoons. Next in I'm going to be adding in some salt to taste. So I'm going to grind all this without adding in any water or oil. I'm going to grind this into a coarse paste. So remember, not fine paste but coarse paste. So you can just use your grinder in the pulse mode around 2 to 3 times and just make it into a coarse paste. So I've prepared the coarse paste and this is how it looks like. You can still see some large particles. You see, this is how it should look like. So I'm going to keep this aside and let's start the next process. So this, I've taken raw potatoes. I had dipped them in little bit of water so that they stay fresh. So I'm taking a bigger bowl. In the bowl I'm going to be transferring this raw grated potato. I'm just going to lightly squeeze in the water like this. We don't need a lot of water, and just adding it here. Just try to use the smaller size of grater. So I'm using 2 medium sized of grated potato. This is not boiled, it is completely raw. You can see this looks nice and fresh. If you don't dip this in water, then it will start turning dull and black and it won't stay fresh. So just squeezing in gently, don't squeeze it so much, just squeeze it gently and add it in the other bowl. So next in, after adding in the raw grated potato, I'm going to add in this prepared mixture that we had prepared. So I'm just going to add it here. This is my own invented recipe. So yes, I had tried making this recipe around first time. When I tried, I was just experimenting on it and it turned out to be really nice. So it's my own invention, and yes, do try this recipe. Let me know how it turns out, adding in all the prepared coarse paste. So it is around 3 spoons, if I may say that, around 3 spoons, yeah. So in case if you want to know the measurement of this grinded coarse paste, it's just that way. After adding in this prepared green coarse paste, I'm adding in ginger garlic paste. So this is 1 tablespoon. As we have lots of grated potato raw, so it's not going to be nice and flavorful if you just add little bit. So be generous with the ginger garlic paste. It's going to add a really nice taste and flavor. So I've added this. Next in, I'm going to be adding in freshly chopped coriander leaves. I've just chopped them freshly. So again, be generous with the chopped coriander. I'm not going to be using in any spices like turmeric powder, red chili powder, black pepper, roasted cumin powder, or coriander cumin powder, or any other like red chili powder or so. I'm going to keep this recipe very nice and cool, very easy and simple. So I'm going to just lightly give this a mix, just lightly. So this looks nice. Next in, I'm going to be adding in the large chopped onion. Again, be generous with the chopped onion. Take 2 medium sized of onions, or 3 to 4 small onions, or 1 large onion, giving this all a nice mix. So just take a spoon and mix this all well. This looks nice. Just make sure the potatoes are well combined with everything. Now I had added some salt while preparing the coarse paste, but as the quantity is bigger, I will add in some salt later on. So it's time to mix everything well together. So now after mixing this well, I have 1 cup of rice flour. In case if you do not have rice flour at home, you can use whole wheat flour, but personally rice flour goes nice with this recipe. So for now I'm taking 1 cup, but if required I will use more. It depends on how much water the potatoes are releasing. So I'm just going to be adding in some flour at a time and kneading it into a dough. So adding in around half, and then I'm just going to dip my hands inside. I'm just going to give it a nice mix, just the way we prepare normal dough or normal atta. You see, just like this. Keep on mixing and adding the flour. So after adding in the half cup, I'm just mixing it. If you wish, you can add in green capsicums, or you can add in spices of your choice like red chili powder, turmeric powder, coriander cumin powder, garam masala, lemon juice, amchur powder, but I'm keeping this really nice and plain today. You can see the mixture is already starting to come together. It is still sticky and loose, you can see. So now adding in the rest of the dough, the rest of the rice flour. So I've used 1 cup. Let's see how much more I will require or I won't require. So giving this a nice mix and combining all the ingredients nice and well. At this stage I'm going to be adding in some salt to taste, just around a pinch or so. Again, getting my hands into this and mixing this well. Okay, the mixture still seems little bit sticky, so I'm going to again add in some rice flour. I'm just going to add in 2 tablespoons and check. So adding in 2 tablespoons of rice flour. Again, I'm going to give it a mix and see how it goes. If your potatoes are going to be dry, the potatoes that we had taken the raw grated potatoes, if they will be dry, then you won't require a lot of rice flour. Or else if they are carrying a lot of water, then you may want or you may need to add in some more rice flour. So just mixing this. So let me show you how you can know when your dough is ready. So if you want to check if your dough is ready, just flatten this like this. Try to take a portion like this, a smaller portion, and try making it into a cutlet or tikki. And if you see that it's going to, like, just take it in between your hands and try to make it like this round, and try to make tikkis out of that, and just see if it's sticking to your hands. You can see this is still sticking. So I'm still going to be adding in around 1 tablespoon of rice flour, and then I'm going to mix everything well and check if I'm able to make tikkis. If you reach a spot where you're able to make tikkis, then do not add any rice flour. So in my case, I'm going to be adding in 1 tablespoon of rice flour. So adding in the rice flour, just mixing this well. Just keep on cleaning on the sides so that it doesn't stick. So I've mixed this all nicely, and it's now starting to form like a nice dough. And I'm also going to check if I can be able to form a tikki with this. Just flattening it, taking a small mixture like this and trying to see if it is sticky or not. So just okay, I'm being able to make a ball out of this. It's not sticking to my hand. Okay, it's not sticking so much. So this is done. So now we are going to start preparing tikkis out of this. Before we prepare the tikkis, I'm going to be adding in 1 teaspoon of oil, and then I'm going to mix all this nice and together. The purpose of adding oil is that these tikkis are going to be very, very nice and soft from inside. So just mixing this together. This is nice and ready. And now I'm going to wash my hands and start preparing the tikkis. I will show you how to prepare them. So now the mixture is completely ready. I've washed my hands and now this is nice and clean. And now I'm going to take a small portion of the mixture. You can just make it any size. You can see the consistency is nice and perfect. If required, as I mentioned before, you can add in some more rice flour. So I'm just going to make it into a ball first. Try to see if there are no cracks. So just take your time and make it into a nice ball first. So I've prepared it into a ball and I'm just going to lightly flatten it. You see, just this way. After flattening it, I'm just going to secure the corners of the tikki. You see these corners? You may see some small cracks. So just make it like this. Press it gently with the left thumb. This is a very, very nice and easy way I'm showing you to prepare tikkis. Now I'm going to keep them not very thin and not very thick. Just this size, you can see. So I've prepared my first tikki. I'm going to place it into a plate. I'm going to take another smaller size portion. There is no exact size, so just take the mixture. First make it like this, just with one hand. At first when I was learning this, it was very difficult for me, but now with experience and practice, it's become nice and easy. So just like this, take your time, create it into a nice ball. Nice, completely perfect. Then you see, just flatten it little bit, just this way. You see, secure the corners, press it with left thumb. Now make sure the tikki is not very thick or not very thin. It's just like this. Perfect. So I'm going to be preparing all the tikkis just the same way. So there are 2 to 3 important things I wanted to tell you about this recipe with experience. So after you've prepared these cutlets, you can add it into an airtight container and store it in the refrigerator without frying. Just prepare it like this and store it in the refrigerator for up to 3 days, and then whenever you want to eat, you can fry it. So this is such type of recipe that you can prepare in advance. Whenever you know you have guests coming over, you can make these cutlets just like this in advance. Keep it into an airtight container into the refrigerator section for up to 3 days, and it will stay like this and it will stay nice and fresh. And also you can prepare these tikkis any shape that you like. You can prepare it into finger like shape or cylindrical shape, oval shape. So it's not a must that you just prepare it round. So you can prepare it with any shape. And while you're making these tikkis, if you feel like the dough is becoming still like watery, you can just add around 1 to 2 spoons of rice flour. With experience, I've been through that, so I felt like I should share. So just prepare the tikkis. Make sure the tikkis do not stick to your hands. If they stick, then that means the consistency is getting spoiled. So just be very careful. Just add in rice flour if required. And here I'm still continuing to prepare the tikki I've prepared, and I'll prepare the rest of the tikkis. So just keep those facts in the mind. So I have prepared all the tikkis, and with this amount I was able to prepare around 25 tikkis of small and medium size. So I'm not going to deep fry this, I'm going to be shallow frying. So I've taken some oil, just less oil, and I've heat it and it's become nice and hot. Now I'm going to shallow fry this. I'm going to show you how to shallow fry them. So you have to make sure the oil must be hot, not cold. Like the oil is nice and hot. So I'm going to slowly drop the tikkis and shallow fry them. Make sure the flame is on medium. It's not low and it's not high, just medium flame is what we are looking for. So just dropping in these tikkis, just see the much that can fit. I've added these tikkis and I'm going to shallow fry them on medium flame. So do not flip at this moment. Let them shallow fry nicely for around 4 to 5 minutes, and then I'm going to flip them. So be very careful because these are very gentle, they can break. So we are not going to flip it immediately. Just around 4 to 5 minutes later we will flip them. And make sure the flame is on medium. So it has been around 5 minutes on medium flame, and I'm going to flip these tikkis just slowly. They'll become nice and crispy. Just slowly and carefully flip these. You can see the nice golden brown color in some of these. So I'm just going to flip them all. Again on medium flame, I'm going to shallow fry this for around 4 to 5 minutes on the other side. So after this stage, you may keep on flipping on both sides until you get the desired golden brown color, and just repeat the process and prepare all the tikkis by shallow frying them on medium. So these are ready, and I'm going to take them out on a kitchen towel so that the oil is absorbed nicely. These are currently ready. Taken this out on a kitchen towel, and I'm repeating the process, and I'm frying the other ones. I'm frying the rest, and I will show you after I've fried all of them. So this less oil tikki recipe is completely ready, and I've prepared all the cutlets. So it's serving time. I'm serving this recipe today with tomato ketchup. If you wish, you can serve it with green chutney also, or any other chutney of your choice. This is a very unique recipe, and you can also add in vegetables if you wish. You can add in carrots, peas, French beans. And this is a kids special recipe. Whenever kids want to snack on, instead of giving them the packaged foods or the store-bought chips or crisps, just make for them this lovely recipe and they are going to fall in love with this. If you wish, you can also add in some grated cheese, so the kids are going to be very interested. And yes, do make this lovely recipe. It's a very unique recipe. It's a very less oil recipe. So do let me know how this turns out for you guys. This recipe is done. Thank you so much everyone for watching this recipe. Goodbye, and I'll see you in my next video with a very interesting and new recipe. So goodbye and God bless you.